In this video, you're going to learn how to build a voice AI agent that is able to call customers about their upcoming appointment. This voice AI agent is going to be built inside Vapi AI and Make.com and is able to send highly personalized outbound calls to remind the customer of their upcoming appointment. This voice AI agent is also able to transfer calls to staff if they choose to cancel or reschedule. And by the end of this video, you have all the completely free resources, templates, guides, and prompts that you can just go ahead and download and implement into your Vapi and Make.com workflows. And if you don't already know me, my name is Ashton. I've been helping business owners build AI systems just like this to save time, cut costs, and drive growth. So without further ado, let's jump into a demo so you can see how this system will work. And then we're going to dive into Vapi and Make.com and build everything out from scratch. Okay, so I'm going to click run once. And by the way, this automation will run every day at 9 a.m. So let's go ahead and click run once. And you can see it's able to call my phone right here. Awesome. So we're receiving an outbound call right there. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Great. Thanks, Ashton. This is Max calling from Flow Right Plumbing. I'm reaching out to remind you about your upcoming appointment for leaky tap repair. You're scheduled for your leaky tap repair between 6 and 7 a.m. on Wednesday, October 22nd. Does that time still work for you?
Yeah, it actually does. Yeah.
Perfect. Our technician will see you then for your leaky tap repair. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
No, that was all. Thanks. Thanks so much for confirming.
You're very welcome, Ashton. Thank you. We'll see you soon for your leaky tap repair. Have a great day.
Okay, now that you've seen how a demo is working inside the system, let's go ahead and actually build this out. So what you want to do is you want to come over to a new Make.com scenario right here and create a new scenario. The first module we have right here is going to be our trigger. So what is the module going to be triggering for this automation? So let's go ahead and click add. And in this example and demo, I'm going to be using a Google Calendar. But if you are using this for another business, obviously connect to their calendar, look at their API systems and documentations because it can be different for every calendar. But you want to connect to a calendar so you can search the events. But in this case, I'm going to be using a Google Calendar right here. So what we want to do is we want to select search events. And then from here, obviously you want to go ahead and connect your Google Calendar. Just click add right here and sign into your Google Calendar. And then from here, calendar ID is going to be whatever your email is. And then the start date from here is going to be 9 a.m. So how we actually do this is we add in a formatted date in ISO 861 format to be 9 a.m. for that day in the current time zone. So how we actually do this is I'm just going to paste this in so you can see how it works. But if you do want to build this out, just go ahead and click in here and then click into this little calendar button and you can add in these functions yourself. Or alternatively, if you do download the template, I'm going to be giving away completely for free. This will all be in here. So essentially what we're doing is we're just formatting a date in ISO 861 format. So we're getting the set second, the set minute, set hour, and then the time now that it is in your time zone, which is going to be Australia/Sydney right there. And then 9 is going to be the hour. So essentially the start date is going to be 9 a.m. for each day. And we can actually schedule this make automation and module to run each time at 9 each day. So we can then use that start date and then search for all the events within the start date, right? And then for the end date, what we're going to do is we're going to add on 12 hours to 9 a.m. So again, we're going to be searching for all events within 9 a.m. of that next working day or the current working day, to say so, all the way up to 9 p.m. So we're going to get all the available calendars and events and then call them for an appointment reminder. So again, for the end date right here, this is what we want. So again, add hours, set second, set minute, set hour. And then the now time is obviously going to be that now time, which is going to be 9. And then we're just adding on 12 hours. So of course, if you do want to build this out yourself, just go into this date and time section and then add it exactly like this. Feel free to pause the video or go ahead and add everything like this. Just make sure it's formatted right now. But I just thought I'd just go ahead and paste a prompt or a template that I've already built so you can just get an idea of how to, how it quickly works, right? Okay. And then from here, update from, we'll just leave that blank. We don't really need that. Single events, we're going to leave it as no at the moment. And then we're going to select all event types right here. Okay, and then limit, we're just going to put it to 1 for this purpose of this demo, but you can obviously change it to retrieve a bunch of different events, but I'm just going to be working within one, demo or one event that I have scheduled. Okay, awesome. So let's go ahead and click save right there. So if we come back to our Google Calendar right here, we can see that I've got a new appointment upcoming soon. So what it's going to do is going to search for all of these availabilities within 9 a.m. for this day. And to actually make that happen, come down to the bottom right here, switch every 15 minutes. And then what you want to do is you want to change the run scenario. You want to put every day, and then you can actually change the time it's going to run. So, for example, whatever time zone you're in, maybe you want it at the start, maybe you want it at the end for the next day. Whatever time you want these outbound calls to go out to remind the customer, this is what you want to set. But I just thought it would be good to do it at 9 p.m. at the start of the business's day. So put 9, and then we're going to do a.m., come back here. So again, 9 p.m. every single day, this scenario is going to run, right? Let's actually go ahead and click run once, and we can see that it has retrieved that event right here, which is everything we have at the moment. So now what we can do, as we can see, if we come back, it's retrieved all of those details that we have right here. So we can see the output of that search event. Now, the next step that we want to do is we want to add in a AI or a ChatGPT module right here. So if we come in, we search generate a completion, and then from there, this is what we're going to be prompted with. So essentially what is happening in this module is we're taking in all the search events in that big messy format that you just saw, and we're going to condense it down into a JSON, which we can then put into Vapi to create an outbound call. And it needs to be in this JSON format. Otherwise, it really won't work. So again, this is the way I recommend doing it. Let's go ahead and add in just GPT 4.1. That'll work fine. And then the messages, we're going to add in a message. We're going to switch this to developer system right here. And this is the prompt that you want to put in. Again, I'm just pasting everything in so you have a good idea of how it works. So let's go ahead and paste this in. So this is going to be our prompt. You're an assistant, generate a structured JSON with the following fields: name, which is the field name of the recipient; phone number, which is the string; and then the reason for the appointment; start date, end time. And then what we're also going to do is we're going to put, we'll leave that. So essentially what is going to be happening is we're going to be putting and giving ChatGPT all these event details right here, and it's going to be putting it into a JSON like this. So that's going to be our prompt at the moment. And then we're going to add a message. It's going to be user message right here. And then what we want to add is that appointment details from that make.com event. So let's go ahead and add that in. Appointment details right here. And then what we want to do is we want to come down to the description. So that's going to be the description of our calendar, and ChatGPT is going to look at all this information and it's going to put it into a JSON files, right? Let's go ahead and add that, and then we're going to put start time. By the way, that description is just this, which has the number that we're going to use, very important, the email, etc., right? Let's come back, start time. Then we're going to do this, which is going to be start, which is the start time of the event. And then we'll do end time right here. Awesome. Add end time. Okay, so after you've added those details inside this user, section right here, we want to do one more important thing, which is going to be switching on these advanced settings, right? And then this response format, we want to change it to JSON object right here. And then phrase JSON is going to be yes. So essentially, this needs to be done to essentially tell ChatGPT what its response format is going to be, which is going to be this JSON object. And we need to select phrase JSON to phrase all those JSONs into objects, which we can then map into this make automation, such as, creating the outbound call, which is very important. So make sure you have this done. Don't worry about all these other, configurations. Just go ahead and click save right there. Okay, awesome. Now that we have that ChatGPT module, let's go ahead and add another module, and we're going to add this Vapi module right here. So just search Vapi up here, and then we're going to come down, create a call. Awesome. And then from here, we're going to need a few things. So I've already connected my Vapi account, but you will need to add a Vapi account and connection if you haven't already connected it. Just go ahead and click add right here. And then the API key, we're going to need an API key. So what you want to do is you want to come back to Vapi, come back up to API keys right here. And then you want to paste this private API key, come back to make, and then just put it in here and click save, right? And everything should be all good to go, right? Copy your private API key, not the public one. So then from there, you need an assistant ID. So this is actually where we're going to head over to Vapi to create your voice AI agent. And then we're going to map back in some of these fields. So let's come back over to Vapi platform right here. Again, dashboard.vapi AI, you want to head over to. And then from there, once you are in this kind of overview and system, you'll be put in this page. You want to come down to assistants right here, right? And then from there, you're going to need to create a new agent. So let's create a new agent. Let's just name it appointment reminder. Awesome, right? Appointment reminder agent. Let's click create assistant. Awesome. Okay, so you'll be put into this dashboard right here. So Provider is just going to be OpenAI and then model GPT-4o cluster. That's fine. And then for the first message mode, we want to select this, which is going to be assistant speaks first, so that our AI is going to be speaking first. Now, in this first message, you want to put something like this. So, for example, hello is this, and then we want to do double curly bracket name, right? So essentially, what this is going to be doing, and you'll understand how this works later. But again, these right here is what we call dynamic variables. So essentially what we're doing and why this part was so important in ChatGPT is we're going to be phrasing those variables that we have gotten from that event that we have searched for, and we're going to be putting it in objects, right? And we can use that object to be a dynamic variable with inside our Vapi assistant. So if you come back here, we can put variable values. So you can see right here, we've got name at the moment, which is just going to be the name, obviously, of the customer. So we can put in these dynamic variables inside our prompt. And what is going to be happening is we're going to be feeding those dynamic variables into this create call module right here. So that's a little bit of background about what is happening with these dynamic variables, if you're wondering. So we're going to say for the first message, again, calling up the person, we're going to say, hello, is this, Ashton, or hello, is this name, just to verify that they're the actual recipient of the booking, right? So that's going to be the first message right there. And then from here, we have the prompt. So again, I'm just pasting a prompt that I've already pre-built, and I'll run you through it quickly. So right here, we have system prompt. Again, I'm going to be pasting this in, which is going to be the role, right? So role, you are Max, a friendly and reliable voice AI assistant for Flow Right Plumbing. Again, I'm just going to be doing this for, a plumbing company, whatever, but it doesn't really matter what you have right here. But again, I'm just going to be doing this to plumbing company so you can see how it works. Obviously, you can change the prompt, but this is just a prompt that I've used for a plumbing company, right? Okay, now let's go ahead and add in the task. So this is going to be the task. So again, this role section is just giving a role for the voice AI agent, but the task section is going to be very important right here. Again, I'm just going to be pasting in the task. Okay. Okay, so this is our task, right? So your core responsibility is to confirm upcoming plumbing services with customers. Follow this step-by-step workflow to ensure a smooth professional interaction. Step 1 is going to be verify the customer. So ask if you are speaking with the intended customer by name. Example, hello, am I speaking with name? So again, we're using that dynamic variable again. Wait for the customer's response. If yes, proceed to step 2. If no, ask politely. No problem, is name available right now? Or would you like us to pass along a quick message, right? So again, this first part is just verifying the customer to make sure that we're actually speaking to the right person to confirm the appointment. Okay, and then from there, if we have verified it, we're going to move on to step 2. But if we haven't verified the customer, we're just going to say, please let me know, or we'll just say, if they convey the message, say, perfect, please let Ashton know the following. I'm calling from Flow Right Plumbing to remind you about their upcoming appointment for reason. Again, this is another dynamic variable that we have used to extract from that. We come back here, we can see that the reason is going to be this service type right here that we're going to be putting into Vapi. So again, we're just verifying and making sure if we don't get an initial verification from the customer, we can let them know and pass them, we'll just let the customer know to tell their friend or whatever that they have an upcoming appointment, right? And then if the name is unavailable and they cannot take the message, respond, no worries at all. I'll give them a call back later. Thank you for the day. And then use end call function right here, right? Step 2 is going to be introduce yourself and state the purpose. So clearly introduce yourself and explain why you are calling. Reference the specific service you have. For example, this might be an example. Hello, this is Max from Flow Right Plumbing. I'm reaching out to you to remind your upcoming appointment for reason. Again, that's another dynamic variable we have used. Step 3, share appointment details. So again, provide the service type and the scheduled time window in a natural conversational way. So for example, we're giving another example. You are scheduled for, a leaky tap between 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. And then always convert ISO format timestamps into a friendly conversational tone. So we can see the reason why we've done this if we come back to make. And if we come in here, these come in here to the start time right here. So we can see that's an ISO 861 format. We don't necessarily want the agent to say 22nd of October 2025, 5 p.m., right? We might just want to say tomorrow at 5 p.m., right? So that's why we're prompting it exactly like that, right? Then step 4, we have confirm customer availability. So let's come back. We'll just open this up. Step 4, confirm customer availability. So now we're going to be asking if the customer is actually available to confirm their appointment. So ask the customer if the scheduled time works for them. For example, does this time work for you? wait for the customer's response. If the customer confirms the appointment, which is fine, respond warmly saying, great, our technician will see you then for your, service appointment. Is there anything else I can help you with, right? So if the customer wants to reschedule, cancel, or respond, just say this, no problem at all. Let me connect you with someone from our office who can help you with that right away. So this agent is only for confirming appointments and creating those outbound calls. It's not actually going to be for rescheduling, canceling, etc. So this is why we use the transfer call function, which is what we're going to be adding in the tools to transfer a call to someone that can actually, get them rescheduled in, right? If the customer seems uncertain or unclear, just gently confirm to them. So again, more prompt engineering right there. So again, that's going to be our task. Now we only have a few other things, which is going to be the specifics, context, and notes as well. So again, this is just extra prompt engineering to make our AI agent and AI voice agent more conversational. So I'm just going to be adding this in right here. Okay, so we have specifics. So again, I'm not going to be going too in depth. I'll give you a general overview. This specific section is just more prompt engineering to make it, personalized and just really handle all scenarios. So for example, hold time. If you need to process information or use a function, say 1 moment while I help you with that. Confirmation, always repeat confirmation times. Personalization, use the customer's first name. So you can see this is just some specifics. And then we've got context right here. So again, I've just did a little bit of context dumping, which is what we call it in prompting, to give the agent context about what is actually, going to be happening in this conversation. So we can see you operate in a home service environment where customers are dealing with plumbing issues that may range from your routine maintenance to urgent repairs. Flowright Plumbing is known for its punctual, professional, and service and clear communication. So you can see right here, we're giving the agent a little bit of context about the business, the situation that we're dealing with, right? And then from here, we have notes. So again, do not attempt to, reschedule and cancel. So just reinforcing that the agent actually can't do that. And then we'll also get if the start time is this right here in that ISO 861 format, say 10 a.m. Thursday, October 31st, not the raw timestamp. So again, more prompt engineering inside the notes in the final section to make sure the AI agent is just more conversational in the way it speaks, right? Okay, and then from here, we're just going to go ahead and update. So that's going to be our system prompt. Of course, if you download this AI agent template, you'll get all of these system prompts, everything obviously completely for free. Files are going to leave that at the moment. Max tokens will leave at 250, and then the temperature will just range it from there. Essentially, this temperature just means varying the creativeness of the AI's response. So if we put it down, it's going to be more strict to our prompt. And if you put it further up, it's going to be more creative. So just have it around here. That's what I leave it as. And then the one more thing we're going to need to do is add in some tools right here. So we're going to add in a transfer tool and also an end call tool as well. So if we come back to the tools right here, create tool, and then we're going to do transfer call, right? The name is going to be transfer call, and then the description is to transfer the call to a staff member, right? Awesome. Staff, member, right? Transfer the call to a staff member, and then configurations, we want to add a destination, and it'll just be phone number, right? And then this is where you can add in any phone number that you want to transfer. Whether it's yours, just go ahead and add in your personal number. Whether it's another one, just add in that, right? But I'm going to be adding in, I actually won't be able to add in my personal number because I'm going to be speaking to it, so it can't really transfer across. But for whatever number you want right here, just go ahead and add that. Make sure it's in plus format. So whatever your country code is, make sure it's in E61 format, and you can go ahead and do that right there. So again, usually just add in whatever number you want. I can't add in my own number because I'm going to be speaking to the agent. So we just go ahead and click save right there. Again, that's my bad, but yeah. So again, that number was just not formatted correctly, but yeah, add in your number, it'll work fine. And then the final tool that we want to add is an end call tool. So it's going to be just end call, very simple to end the call from the customer, right? Again, giving the agent the ability to end call is very important as well. Okay, now let's come back to the assistant, go into appointment reminder agent again. That prompt didn't actually save, but that's fine. I've got it already loaded up right here. Again, make sure you always publish right here. I actually forgot to do that because it didn't save. But yeah, that's fine. Again, yeah, now we're going to come down to tools, and we're going to add in those tools right here. So we're going to add in end call, and then we're also going to add in transfer call. Okay, now our agent is all good to go. Now, you want to keep this tab open because we're going to need a few extra configurations as well inside our agent prompt. Okay, now this is where we can come back to make.com and we can now configure this Vapi create call work scenario. So again, assistant ID, you may just want to refresh, this module right here so to actually grab all your assistants. So again, I'm just going to refresh it and then we can see assistant ID is going to be that agent right there, appointment reminder agent. And the name, just give it a name, outbound. This doesn't really matter what this is. Whatever. Phone number ID. Now, this phone number ID, you're going to need to connect a phone number. Now, I'm not going to go too in depth on actually how to do that. But as we can see right here, go into your phone number tabs and you want to connect a phone number. Now, I've already connected my phone number. I've done it through Twilio. So you want to connect a phone number through Twilio to make an outbound call from your agent right there. I will leave down a docs and a guide down below in the link description if you want to check that out, to actually figure out how you can import your Twilio number, or alternatively, you can just search, a tutorial on how to do that. But you want to make sure you have a number in here. Okay, and then from there, because I've already got my number, I just go ahead and select that. And then this is where we're going to want to add the customer number. Now, and then we want to run this again. So I'm just going to be running this entire thing just because we need to get some data from ChatGPT. Then go ahead and obviously input right there. Okay, awesome. That's been completed. Now let's go into Google Calendar. So not Google Calendar. We need to go into Vapi again. And then we're going to do create call, obviously, pop right here. All right, and then customer phone number. So again, this is going to be the number that we have for the customer. And you can see right there, that has been our OpenAI results. And as we can see, this is why it's important to map in this data via JSON objects. So we can see that has been the result of ChatGPT, and we've mapped in all that data. We've cleaned it up from this Google Calendar and we've put it in data that we can now map into Vapi, right? So the phone number is, you want to be that phone number. So that's going to be the phone number. It's going to be calling it on me. Assistant overrides, we'll just leave that. That doesn't matter. And then we're going to need to add in variable values down the bottom as well. And this is where we're going to be mapping in all that data to then connect to our custom variables right here inside Vapi. Let's come back to make. And then the key, we're just going to be naming this, right? So make sure it is exactly like this. Otherwise, it won't work. So make sure your keys are the same name as it is right here. So let's come back to make. Let's do name. And then let's just map in the values we have, right? Name, and then we want to do phone number. That's going to be the value there. Reason. Again, I'm just mapping everything in. And then we will need start time. End time. Okay. Awesome. Okay, now we have everything we need. That's all mapped in. Voicemail message, we'll leave that for now. Okay, awesome. Now let's go ahead and save this. And now our Vapi assistant is created right here. So that is all good. We now have that Vapi assistant all created. So let's actually go ahead and test this agent, and you can see how it's able to make an outbound call for that Google Calendar. Okay, so I'm going to click run once. And by the way, this automation will run every day at 9 a.m. So let's go ahead and click run once, and you can see it's able to call my phone right here. Awesome. So we're receiving an outbound call right there. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Great. Thanks, Ashton. This is Max calling from Flow-Right Plumbing. I'm reaching out to remind you about your upcoming appointment for leaky tap repair. You're scheduled for your leaky tap repair between 6 and 7 a.m. on Wednesday, October 22nd. Does that time still work for you?
Yeah, it actually does. Yeah.
Perfect. Our technician will see you then for your leaky tap repair. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
No, that was all. Thanks. Thanks so much for confirming.
You're very welcome, Ashton. Thank you. We'll see you soon for your leaky tap repair. Have a great day.